Hello, we've got a TV to play with. You may be getting a bit of deja vu with this because I did do a video on what is exactly the same chassis, but I think it was badged up as a Hitachi. This one's badged up as a Toshiba. And I'm just going to majestically put it onto the bench. Wow, 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 wow. So you can possibly see it's a Toshiba. I've got no idea what this is doing. This was a gift. Well, it was going to the dump. Somebody just said, TV not working, going to the dump, who wants it? And I had a look at it. And for the first minute I thought, oh no, I don't want one of those. And I just suddenly thought, well, if I don't take it, it will go to the dump. Because there's not many people around here that repair these sort of things. So it's a Toshiba LCD TV, it's a Vestel chassis, and it's not coming on. So I was told. I'm doing this video as live. I haven't tested it, I haven't taken the back off it, I haven't looked at any caps beforehand, etc, etc. I'm guessing it's going to be caps, as we've said before, 9 times out of 10. What you have to remember with this TV, and this is where a lot of people fall down, in my opinion, is that this was one of the first HD-ready TVs on the market that became financially affordable to some. And when I say to some, what I mean is, it was the first, this particular chassis, the Vestel badged 42-inch, was the first to be under £1,000. I think these were 780, 849, something like that, sold in Argos and those sort of outlets. Now, £800 today can buy you a heck of a lot of TV. It really can. But we're talking about the early days of high-definition television. We're talking about the early days, for heaven's sake, of flat-screen TVs. It's easy to think that flat-screen TVs have been around for a long time. It certainly feels that way now, but when this model was out, or came out, they'd only been around for, well, probably 3 or 4 years, and they're only available to those people that could really, you know, afford such things. They'd been £1,500, £200. Now all of a sudden a batch process of consumer models came out, just like this. And I remember seeing the first batch, and it must have been this particular model number that came out, and it was under £1,000. I remember saying to a friend of mine at the time, who we used to buy all the tech, we used to buy all the VHS videos. I went, it's under £1,000. Wow, it's under £1,000. He wasn't so overwhelmed. But anyway, so it was going to the dump. And I said, okay, yeah, no, I'll take it if it's free. And you probably can't tell on camera, but this it's almost in mint condition. There is not a mark on it. I'm probably going to plug this in a moment and find it's got a smashed screen. But it comes with the manual. It comes with a remote control. And so I still look upon something like this as, you know, a £900 TV. I know it's not. I know you can pick them up for less than £100 these days. But they still are great TVs. They've got good picture, good sound. I know a lot of people that still like this TV. Still proud to have it at home. So you should be. It's a nice flat screen TV. It's got good sound quality. It's not wafer thin. It's a good 3 inches deep. But that does help the sound. It really does help the sound. What's the difference between 3 inches and half an inch when you're buying something new these days? It's 3 inches, for heaven's sake. It's still a flat screen TV. So I defend these. I think they're great TVs. Compared to the TVs you can go out and buy today, you know, your cheapy supermarket TVs, which you're lucky if you get 2 years out of. Well, you're definitely lucky if you get 3 years out of them. This 10, 15 years down the line, and I'll go in the middle, say it's 12 years old. I think this will be 2008 when these came. It will be 2008 when these came out. Anyway, I'm plugging it in. And I don't know if you've seen, but I've got a flashing white light. So maybe it's going to come on. I've got no idea what you can see because I'm covering up. You can see the flashing white light. There. And normally, we've got touch-sensitive controls here. I'll just switch the main lights back on. Touch-sensitive controls here. And if we pay attention, if we listen, we can probably still hear them. Yeah. I don't know if you're picking that up, but it's making the noise. Now the funny thing is, I'm not convinced that I can get this repaired today. We'll take the back off it and have a look. It is still a nice TV. It'll be nice to see it up and running, and it'll be a good TV for somebody, and it will work for a good couple of years again, if not more. But if it's the usual capacitors that have gone, I'm not sure I've got them in stock. I've had quite a few. Not many people have capacitor jobs these days in TVs, so I'm not stocking up on the caps like I used to. But I may have to scrape the bottom of the box, depending on how many that have decided they don't want to work. So I won't bore you with taking the back of it. What I will do, ding ding ding. What I will do is just turn it on the front, and it's a Toshiba. It's a 40, not a 42. I beg your pardon. 40BV700B. It's a Vestel, as you can tell by the back of the label. The other Vestel giveaways, they always have 4 numbers in a bracket, and it's a typical Vestel. I mean, it's got 3 HDMIs. People that loved their hi-fi and their gadgets and their TVs back in 2008 would have drooled over the fact that it's got 3 HDMIs. In fact, for today, 2020, they're still making TVs that haven't got 3 HDMIs, which is frustrating the life out of a lot of people. A couple of SCARTs, VGA. It's got the phono line outs, the RCA line outs, and it's got the RGB in, and it's got the sound in for the VGA. And I think it's got USB down the side. Oh, and it's got another input down the side. It's got another phono video input. Is that another HDMI? Oh, it's got another HDMI down the side. It's 4 HDMIs it's got. So this, in my opinion, is still a very good TV. We've got to try and save this. But as I say, I'm not too sure that I can save it today. I don't know if I've got the parts. And even if it's not the caps, we may be looking for a main board job on this. So I may have to go looking for a main board to replace it. And I will do, because it'll still be very cost effective. It'll still be cheap. So I'm right, well, I'm going to take the back off it, and then we'll have a look inside together. It's astonishing to think that somebody was possibly going to throw this away, and it would have got crushed to be recycled and used for other parts. And I suppose there's there's something to be said for that. I was going to say I don't think anyone's been in the back of this. This is probably the first time it's gone faulty. It did only have... I thought I'd got away with some screws. It does seem to have one of its back screws missing. Only the wall bracket screws. Usually there's 2 in the back, there's only 1. But that doesn't mean that someone's been in the back now, does it? Right. Take away the mains cable here. Let's lift and separate and have a look together at what we got. Oh yes. Oh yes, 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 yes. Well, I would have been surprised if we hadn't got any bad caps. And we've got the usual 2 suspects. Does that one look like it's... No, that one seems okay. So it's on the 5 volt supply. the usual suspect which have gone, which should be a 2216. No, 2716. So it's a 2716. I should be able to do this from memory. But I haven't even got my glasses on. Right. Just being very gentle where I put my hands at the moment, because I'm well aware that I powered it up not so long ago. And the main filter caps was still probably be carrying some voltage. Enough voltage to make my hair go completely grey. As you can keep seeing shots there, it's on the way. I'm getting there. Right, let me just have a bit of polystyrene, lift that up. .5 volts. That won't trouble me. It's obviously a resistor across it, which is good. So, where was I? 2700, 16 volt. I won't have one of those. I used to have loads of them. I haven't stocked up on my caps for ages, and I can't even see what this one is. Why can't I see what this one is? Oh wow. It's a 2200, 6.3 volts. Puh. Puh. Well, I did say, didn't I, that I didn't think I'd got the right caps. I may have to go a bit higher or a bit lower just to see if it comes on. If I'm going lower, I wouldn't keep them in. Well, I've got a 2225 volt. I wanted a 2700. What's that? That's a 4700. Bear with. Well, there's a 3300, so I could... Oh, is that going to be 25? That's 25. Is that a 2.7? Nope. Well. Wow. The amount of 2200s I have left. Yeah, I have. Okay, we're going to be alright. I have what we need. I'm going higher on voltage on one. But the other one is spot on. This again is no guarantee it's going to bring it back to life. It's a 90% chance. But it's got an old Samsung LCD. Again, we never know. There could be lines on the screen. I've never noticed lines on screen on these though. The inverters are looking really clean for the backlights. And I've never noticed a backlight issue on these TVs, which is why they just keep going. I can't think of an LED TV. Oh, I can. I was going to say I can't think of an LED TV that's lasted 10 years without backlight problems. But some of the very early LG LED TVs, which were edge-lit, I've had some of those in recently, and they've been very good. Right. Plonkety plonk. I've been charging up my camcorder, so I don't know if my handheld will let me zoom in on the caps in particular. It will! So just in case you couldn't see from the top camera. Yes, it's telling me battery is low. I know, I only started charging you up 5 minutes ago. But they are our little beauties. I'm very surprised at that one being a 2200. I thought it was only a 480, but anyway. There's the screen. And once again, for those that like to know these things, the model number of the TV, as we said, is a 40-inch. Model number 40BV700B. Right. Let me put this camera back on charge. Rest of the caps seem fine. I'm just going to see if they've been changed in the past. Nope. This board has not been tampered with until today. And I'm pleased to say my desoldering gun has been repaired. It got blocked. What a pain in the backside it was to unblock. Right, I'm just going to have to excuse me. I really do need glasses on when I'm soldering or desoldering. Wow. Okay, this is probably not the way to do it, really, is it? That is very loose. But anyway, it's on. This really is a long-winded way of doing this. I should just turn my weller on. And take them out. But I've got so used recently to using this, and the fact that I only repaired it last night, so I wanted to repaired it. I unblocked it. Right, out you come. Amazingly, the new caps going in are bigger than the old caps going out. That is never usually the case. But it's the case today. Yeah, sorry if this video is a deja vu for those millions of you that are subscribed. But it's just a complete coincidence that I've had two TVs in that are quite similar. I really should have switched on the weller to get it up to temperature, not that the weller takes long. It's the weller. It's the hottest soldering iron in the world. We're just warming up at the moment. We're going into spring. But in the winter, using this is a godsend. Heats the workshop up. And even though it looks well used, well, it is well used. And it's still got the original tip. And you're probably looking at that tip thinking, what a rusty, horrible little tip. But it's not, it's just old solder watch, he says. Watch how clean it becomes when it heats up. Look at that. Now that looks like a shiny, brand new tip. But it won't do in a second. Glasses on again. There we go. Just switch that off. Get me snips. One board recapped. I'm slightly suspicious about that, but it's an optical illusion. I've had this before with that particular cap. Not that particular cap, but this particular board and the position of that cap. It would be good practice to actually replace them all, recap the whole darn board. And that is something I may do off camera. No, I won't, because I'm going to screw the back on and keep it going for a bit. Right, so we'll do a quick test here. There's a switch on this, down the side. Let's plug it in. Again, I'm plugging into an isolated supply for safety reasons. Safety for me more than the TV, obviously, because it's all about me, 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 me. Oh! Well, there you go. Sorry, I don't know if you can see the fact that the screen has gone blur. And I've got some writing on the screen. So what I'll do, bear with me for a second, and I will put the back on and turn it to the way around. Switching on the TV. I'm just going to test it with the remote control that it came with, just to see. Switch some lights off. There you go. TV is back on, extension 3. How do I... Where's source on this? Anybody know? Source? That looks like source. Extension 2. No, that wasn't source. So I'm going to have to put the lights on again so I can see what source. Yes, it is source. The source button does not seem to be working. I thought this was working. How do you switch it off? No, it was working. Just rattled the batteries around a little bit. Now press source. No. Right, let me get a Vestel remote. Now let me press source. Oh, that's interesting. Well, it can't be a remote. Right, okay. Volume works. Seems to be stuck. Seems to be stuck on AV2. Does the volume work on the remote? No. This remote switched it on and off a second ago. I'm going to try again. Yes. We may have other issues with this TV. Let me switch it back on again. press the menu button now, see what happens. Nothing. Oh. Was I holding it too close? Is that a thing? Because it's laid down on its back. How darn bizarre. Anyway. Right. Let me try with this other remote. Source. No. It's just witchcraft. Menu. No. Go back to the original remote. Menu. Yes. Source. Stuck an extension 2. Volume works. Stuck an extension 2. That's a bit bizarre. That is very bizarre. So on and off works. Menu doesn't work on a newer remote. On the original remote, the menu works. Kind of works. Let me go down, if it'll allow me to go down to HDMI 4. And press OK. Oh, it's only got those ticked. That's not selecting it, that's... Right, so you have to select them all, obviously. It's only ever... Why would it only have extension 2 clicked? Probably. It didn't even have... Right, okay. Now I'm going to switch off. I'm going to switch on. Now I can do source. Hopefully. That's what I was looking for. And now I can go to HDMI 4. And I should have a picture on HDMI 4 if I ask her kindly. Alexa, homepage. There you go. Phew! I thought I'd got other issues then. Alexa, YouTube HD video. Well, thank you. Now, I'm going to have to bypass this, otherwise I'll get into trouble, obviously. It's going to be hard for you to tell the picture quality from the camera, but it looks really good. This video from YouTube is not the best HD video, but it just lets me know if there's any lines on the screen or any problems with anything like that. And there are not. It's in amazing condition. Really good. There's no scratches. Well, there's no scratches on the screen, but there's no scratches on the framework, on the bezel around it. And for the age of the TV, that's quite surprising. But anyway, we've saved it from the dump. What happens to it from here, I don't know. But it'll be a good home for somebody. Just surprised how this remote wouldn't work. But maybe it wouldn't work because... no, the menu on this Vestel one is not operating it. But that could be a remote issue. Don't panic about that. Panic about more important things yet. 2 minutes ago off camera, I knocked over a cup of coffee and it went over my iPhone. That's the sort of thing you panic about. But I think these more modern iPhones are, I won't say waterproof, a bit more water resistant. Well, I'll soon find out when I switch it on tomorrow. It's working fine now. But when I switch it on tomorrow, if the screen's gone a bit gooey. But a Toshiba LCD HD ready TV, all fixed. Sound is okay. I'll switch it off, see how long it takes to come on again. Because you can always tell a sign of bad capacitors with these is when you turn it on and it takes several seconds to come on. I say several seconds when the capacitors get so bad. I've known people go to work in the morning, try and switch their TV on, so when they come home in the evening they can watch the evening news. It takes hours. Right, on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, backlights at 6, picture at 9. That's okay, isn't it? It's quite a long time if you think about it. Think about the old valve TVs of the 60s and 70s. They didn't take that long, did they? Were they 10 seconds? Oh, they must have been. God, I'm old. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bit of fun video. Hope it was okay for you. And... I'll see you in the next one. Sorry, I went quiet for a second because my recording software is overwriting itself. I have backup of a recording just in case the microphone packs up. So I'd better not pack up this time because I've just realised I haven't got a backup. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye. Have fun. We'll probably do a more modern set next time. Probably. I've got loads that I need to sort out, but I'm on a go slow. Goodbye.